What's a podcast actually worth listening to? Well, there's your problem. A podcast about engineering disasters. With slides. I listen to one or two comedy podcasts, but none of them make me laugh as hard or as often as two civil engineers from Philly, proud sons of Philly, and a posh British woman discussing engineering and societal disasters. Edit. Only Roz is a civil engineer, Liam is a finance major because he's a good boy. Hardcore history. Behind the Bastards is fantastic, but will question humanity. History of Rome. After the first few episodes where sound produced and isn't great, it's just like 200 episodes of incredible story of the rise and fall of the entire Roman Empire. The dude knows his shit. Actively will call out his own mistakes during the following episodes when he is wrong, which isn't often. He tells it in way better than any textbook. He almost never goes off the rails and talks about irrelevant material. And when he doisits about baseball for like 4 seconds, he enjoys the topic and you can tell. This is kind of new, but check out If Books Could Kill. Two guys discuss and analyze best-selling non-fiction books that could use a good dissection like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and The Secret. Well researched and super funny and interesting. Love it. Stuff you should know. No such thing as a fish. Funny while being somewhat educational. Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend is genuinely laugh out loud funny and often super insightful. Darknet Diaries. Last podcast on the left. What do you think of Dalai Lama after seeing that video? Either he's a sick bastard, or he's senile. I'm no pervert apologist, but I've seen seniors, he's 87, who have done things they think are cute or funny when there's nothing funny about it. Or maybe he's both and his senility is letting his perversion slip out. Occam's razor, the DL has hidden his pedophilia for 87 years while the Chinese government has been trying to surveil and discredit him the entire time and unable to do so. An 87-year-old man with dementia had an intrusive thought and said it out loud, and then his PR team hastily tried to get in front of it? What video? Wait, what happened? Edit. Saw it. Holy hit. Repulsed to my very core, actually can't watch the video, it makes my skin crawl. Okay. So this might be just because I'm dealing with this right now with my grandfathers, but I have a feeling they're covering for dementia or some other related ailment of old age. The Dalai Lama is older than either of my grandfathers, so I'd honestly be shocked if he was still completely sound of mind, and he gives off the same kind of vibes I get from my Alzheimer's riddled grandfather. I'm hesitant to call it straight up pedophilia because of that. I think it's sad that it's coming to this, but I'm honestly not too surprised. A religious leader is a pedophile. No way. Whether or not he is a pedophile, if he lacks the cognition to realize you cannot ask a child to suck on your tongue publicly like that, he may be tooled for his responsibilities and perhaps he has dementia. Pedophilia is something some people have, and it is apparently very difficult to suppress. I feel more needs to be done in terms of treatment for those individuals. The shame and taboo of it does contribute to the number of children who are re-traumatized and or disappear at the hands of a pedophile's impulse. What is the most attractive thing a woman can do on the first date? Genuinely try and get to know you. Speak passionately about something she loves that isn't her ex. Be able to balance the conversation 50-50. It's goes Foreman, too. Most of the answers here are things that should be expected. A woman not being on her phone is the most attractive thing she can do. Those are summary, really low expectations. Look me dead in the eye, sitting a little closer than normal, and completely annihilate my comfort zone. On our first date it was 2 things. 1, went forth hugged then stopped herself and looked shy. It was a good sign things were going to go well. 2, accidentally brushed her hand on second date and she grabbed it and held it under the table. So affirming. Married 15 years so far. Edit. Oh my. So many amazing comments and lovely responses. Thank you so much all you champions. I went on a date with this woman a few years ago and she ordered a milkshake with whipped cream on top. She did this trick where she put her lips on the whipped cream and sucked in and all the whipped cream was gone instantly. Lol, right at that moment she looked me in the eyes and winked. I was so hard the table almost flipped over. Laugh genuinely. Obviously this requires whoever they're dating to be funny, but when it happens it's shot. Chivalry aside, the little eye contact, lip bite thing some women do should be banned as a pick-up tactic for being far too effective. I will be colorblind to every red flag the second that happens. Be confident, be present, and enjoy the moment. Hug me tight at the end. My wife let me play with her itties within first hour of meeting each other. I thought that was pretty attractive. What is your one piece of street advice? Look like you know where you're going. If you get arrested, shut the FK up. Keep your car locked always. And lock your car as soon as you get inside. If someone arguing with you is standing close to you and they look away from you, you are about to get sucker punched. If you think you're being followed, never go straight home. Have heard of being told to make 4 consecutive same direction turns, if driving. If they are still behind you, they're following you. Never do more than one illegal thing at a time. Look with your eyes, not your head. Know when to leave. Is friend getting too drunk? Leave. Is the room getting too crowded? Leave. Are you feeling too intoxicated? Leave. Someone bothering you too much? Leave. Anything that doesn't feel right, just leave. Even if you are a tourist, don't look and act like you're a tourist. 99% of fights start because someone said something offensive to the wrong people. Be careful to not just run your mouth around people you don't know. Real life doesn't always play out like social media. Don't UCK with someone that has cauliflower ear. Stay aware of your surroundings and trust your instincts. Don't flash your money, especially in bars. Also, there's no such thing as a fair fight. Go forth nuts. Don't get in the van. I don't care how many 10mm sockets they say are in the van, it's a lie. If someone asks you for a lighter, sorry, don't smoke. If you know you'll be walking through a sketchy area, look sketchy. Back when I used to do a lot of night photography in an area with frequent muggings and robberies, this kept me out of bad situations. If people cross the street instead of passing by you, you're dying it right. Edit to add that these replies are hilarious. This worked for my countless night excursions in a high-crime area. The one time someone tried to rob me was when I happened to be out in my regular clothes on my way to meet friends. What looks sketchy depends on where you are. For me situation, it was a plain dark hoodie with the hood always up. Hood up shows you'd rather not be recognized and that you're comfortable where you are. Slightly tattered pants, shoes. I had these from skateboarding, and walking like you know exactly where you are and where you're going. My camera was compact enough to hold in my hoodie pocket. Don't put yourself in bad situations from the very beginning if you've never been in the hood. Stay the UCK out of here. You can't lose money if you never brought any. Don't leave your laptop in the car. Don't park your car there at all. Get in, get out. The folks on the streets know faces. If they've never seen yours, you become a target real quick. If a random guy says, "Hey man, you want to see something?" You don't. You don't want to see something. If you can flee, flee. If you have to fight, fight. Whichever you do, commit to that action. Never consent to a police search of your vehicle or your home. If they have to get a warrant, they are much more limited in where they can search and what they can take as evidence. Giving them consent to go on a fishing expedition can only hurt you. Don't do it. Never go to a secondary location. No matter how well you think you fight, you never know if the other guy has a knife. Being stabbed is indescribable. The pain lasts 4 weeks and you can still feel it in the cold months later. Walking away or running away is always your best form of self-defense. Some may call you a coward. I'd rather be a coward and smart than dead and stupid. Look both ways before you cross one. Who is a celebrity that everyone thinks is hot, but you can't see it? Any of the Kardashians. Chrissy Teigen. Drake. Just no. Not physically or personality-wise. Hilary Swank. Her face is fairly symmetrical, meeting the general requirements for attractiveness. However, she is not hot. Benedict Cumberbatch looks like Abe Sapien. Chris Brown. Always said he looks like a naked mole rat and could never see how he was heartthrob, just nope. Gwyneth Paltrow. Her mom is better looking. Adam Driver. The man's a goblin. Leonardo DiCaprio is straight up unattractive to me now. Channing Tatum. Back in the day, girls going crazy over Fabio. Timothée Chalamet. Hailey Bieber. Her face bothers me, and if she wasn't famous, I think she would just look like another basic girl. Bella Hadid. Honestly, most of them. I think celebrity hotness is overrated, and I see more beautiful women just going out in public. What historical fact have you learned that ruined everything you ever thought you knew about this life? It says here in this history book that luckily, the good guys have won every single time. What are the odds? Norm Macdonald. There are graffiti that got preserved in Pompeii and Herculaneum. Because they didn't have paper, public announcements were directly painted on the walls. Some of those graffiti are on par with what you can find on the toilet's wall of Trucker Stop. I ucked the barmaid. Felix ucks like a god. Take of your clothes and show us your hairy. Privates. Ruined in an interesting, not bad way, ancient Greek and Roman polychromy. The Parthenon temple looked a bit like Disneyland. If you look at the history of mankind, you quickly say that nobody ever learned from our history. When I learned that NASA had discovered over 100 billion galaxies and seeing the image to put into perspective that our entire solar system is only about the size of a coin compared to our galaxy, which in relation would be the size of the United States. We are so incredibly small within the universe. Edit to add. Here's a photo of just a snippet of the various galaxies. Keeping in mind, we haven't even ventured outside of our solar system, which is within our Milky Way galaxy, just a grain of sand in context to the universe.